Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my class of leadership theories and organizational behavior. Our today's lecture is on contingency theories of leadership, and I am Dr. Ayaz Muhammad Khan, Director Division of Education, University of Education, Lahore. Dear students, in our previous lectures, we discussed that leadership uh, theories can be categorized into three main categories, uh, which emerged from 1950s to 2000. The very first one is trait theories, then we have got behavioral theories, and the last one, the contingency theories, which we are getting over nowadays. Uh, One thing which is very important, that all theories that are based on situation comes under the category of contingency leadership theories, and it plainly describes that when situation supports a leader, he emerges as a big leader. But when situation does not support a person, his leadership is at stake. Dear students, you can see one of the examples uh, of contingency leadership style that emerged very recently in University of Education, where Vice Chancellor University of Education took a very bold initiative by starting online classes in order to save the semester of the students. Though we are not a university with online system, but this was a bold initiative based on situation, and the sole purpose was to save the time, the energies of the students, and the most important one, that university should opt online system as well. So let's talk about contingency leadership theories. A contingency theory is an organizational theory that claims that there is no best way to organize a corporation, an organization, or to lead a company, or to make a decision. Instead, the optimal course of action is contingent upon the internal and external situation. I mentioned in the previous slide that it depends a lot on situation, the internal and external factors that tend to make a decision, that tend you to make a decision, and if you don't make those decisions, your leadership abilities are at stake. Let's talk about some of the basic assumptions of contingency theories. The theory is based on three major assumptions. The very first one, leadership style. What sort of leadership style have a leader got? And they believe that this is actually the built-in, which a leader is unable to change. Rather, he sticks to his particular leadership style. But the second important thing is the situation that gives control to a leader. I mean, that is why we call it situational leadership as well, because in this sort of leadership style, you got to make decisions as per the situation, and if you don't make, then you are bound to fail. And the last but not the least, the important assumption behind it is the relationship between styles and situation. How a leader develops the decisions in his leadership style as per the situation. So, in a nutshell, you can say that contingency theory of leadership is a very special kind of approach which states that the success of a leader doesn't only depend on his abilities. Maybe you are very able, maybe you are very capable, but if a certain situation arises and you do not come up to that particular situation, you won't be able to become a good leader. Dear students, let's discuss some of the contingency leadership theories one by one. The very first one is Fiedler's least preferred co-worker theory. The Fiedler's contingency model is a leadership theory of industrial and organizational psychology developed by Fred Fiedler. So you can easily think that this theory was developed keeping in view the circumstances in industry and organizational psychology. Fiedler differentiated situation from contingency. He emphasized the fact that differing roles, traits, and behaviors of leaders did not just require any specific understanding of interactions with subordinates, it also requires a favorable condition. I mean, it's pretty clear that maybe you are a leader, you have certain traits, you have got that behavior, and you have got that ability of interacting with your subordinate. But keep it in your mind, if conditions are not favorable, you won't be able to become a leader. That is why it is called as contingency theory. Fiedler model assumes that group performance depends on number one, leadership style described in terms of task motivation and relationship motivation, meaning thereby how much he is motivated for to achieve the targeted task, or how much he is able to create good relationship with his subordinates. Now let's see, how did Fiedler measure leadership style? To find out the basic style, Fiedler created the least preferred co-workers questionnaire. And the purpose of this questionnaire was to measure whether a person is task oriented or relationship oriented. यानी वो अपने काम पे फोकस करने वाला है या वो रिलेशनशिप को ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट देता है. Actually, this least preferred co-worker questionnaire asks the respondents to think of all the co-workers they have ever worked and to describe the person they least enjoyed working. कि वो दिखाएं कि वो सोचें पहले कि उन्होंने किनके साथ काम किया उन वर्कर्स के साथ, और वो लीस्ट इंजॉयड कौन से थे, हाई इंजॉयड कौन से थे, और ये करते कैसे थे? By rating that person on a scale of 1 to 8 among 16 set of contrasting question. हम next slide में इसको देखते हैं. So student, here are some of the contrasting questions which I have given you. Actually there were total 16, but I have just given 4 to show you how it worked. And then we had a rating scale of 8 points, you can see in this slide. The assumption was that leadership style does not change. I mean, if uh, for developing that questionnaire there was this assumption that leadership style never change. If somebody gets high score in LPC, it means that he or she is a relationship oriented leader, यानी वो बंदा relationship को ज़्यादा importance देता है. But if a low score in LPC means that you are a task oriented leader, अगर उसमें low आ जाए तो इसका मतलब है काम पर आप ज़्यादा focus करते हैं, relationship को ज़्यादा नहीं करते. As we have already talked that contingency theories depend on the situation favorableness. And how does this situational favorableness determined? It was actually determined by these 3 factors: the leader member relationship, degree to which a leader is accepted and supported by the group, लोग कितना उसकी इज्जत करते हैं, पसंद करते हैं, task structure, extent to which the task is structured and defined with clear goal and procedures, कि वहाँ जो काम दिया गया है ब्लैक एंड वाइट में है, प्रोसीजर्स सारे ले डाउन किए गए हैं, अगर किए गए हैं तो वो स्ट्रक्चर्ड है, अगर नहीं किए गए तो अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड है. एंड द थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग वाज पोजीशन पावर और द लीडरशिप पोजीशन, and it meant that the ability of a leader to control subordinates through reward and punishment. उसको कितनी पावर दी गई है, हायरिंग फायरिंग की, या ये है कि वो रिवार्ड दे सके when somebody has done good work, and if somebody has not done good work, how does he reprimand them? Dear students, let's discuss Fiedler's contingency model of leader situation matches. You got to understand two very important things, that task motivated is denoted by red line, whereas relationship motivated is denoted by blue line. On the upper side you can see that both lines are fluctuating from good to poor and from favorable to moderate and moderate to unfavorable. Then there are 8 situations. uh, as discussed in the previous slide, we talked about the factors of situational favorableness, and we talked about 3 factors. The leader member relationship, I mean, if it is good, then what happens, and if it is poor, then what happens. You see, in the first 4, it is good, and the last 4, it is poor. Task structured is, you can see, high, high, low, low. I mean, from favorable to moderate, they have given too high and too low, and similarly from moderate to unfavorable, too high and too low. And then leader position par, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, and strong and weak. You can see it. Now let's talk about the situation model. You see, if leader member relationship is very good, task structure is high, and leader power position is very strong, then the performance of leader who is the task oriented is very good one. You can see the red line on the good. But you see, if if you just move to the 8th position where leader member relationship is very poor, task structure is very low, and leader position power is very weak, you see, you move to the unfavorable, and your performance is very poor. So that is what you can study, and you will be in a position to understand that how situation plays a critical role in leadership style. Okay, student, just take a break of 5 minutes in which you would be watching that video by Fred Fiedler himself, and you would see how he describes his own contingency theory. So, once you get over it, after 5 minutes, we'll have a little bit question answer session on it. So student, this is the second theory of the contingency model of theories of leadership. House Path Goal leadership theory. Uh, Presented in 1971 but revised in 1996. This theory was developed by Robert House. Here the leader provides the necessary support and guidance to his followers and help them achieve organizational goals. Leader defines the individuals or group goals and help them achieve them. As per the theory, leaders are accepted by the subordinates when they find that the satisfaction of their needs depend upon their effective performance. I mean, the more performance they would give, the more facilities they would get on the part of the leader. They are provided with guidance, support, and rewards needed for effective performance. Now, some key question of path goal theory. How leaders motivate followers to accomplish designated task. The theory proposed that the leader's role is to provide necessary resources, information, and support for achieving the goals. I mean, being a leader, if you do not provide necessary resources, information, and support to your subordinates, you are bound to fail. Then emphasize the relationship between the leader style and characteristics of followers and the setting. Second important thing, I mean, though you have got a very good leadership style, but we got to see that what are the followers' characteristics, how do they perceive whatever you are doing for them, and the situation in which you are doing them. That is why we called it as situational theory or contingency theory. Last, the leader must use a style that best meets the followers' motivational need. You got to see that how they will be motivated. You cannot use the single style in all situations. You got to use different styles in different situations. So you got to determine what outcomes subordinates are trying to obtain in the workplace. As discussed in the previous slide, that situation is with respect to the characteristics of your subordinates. I mean, if you are not picking up your subordinates' need well, how they are satisfied, you won't be able to use that situation well in your favor. I mean, if they are doing well, you got to give them rewards. I mean, giving them rewards would ultimately boost their morale and performance as well. So, keeping in view the leader's behavior, owing to the characteristics of subordinates, there are four sorts of leaders that emerge in that situation. Whether you are a directive leader, giving specific guidance how to accomplish a task, you deliver a task, not only deliver a task, but do give them the procedural steps how to do that. Or you may be a supportive leader, those who are friendly in nature and shows concern for the followers. Your tilt is more towards relationship oriented. Or participation leader, those who like to take suggestions from the followers before making decisions. And the last but not the least, achievement oriented leaders sets challenging goals and expects followers to perform at highest. So the directive or achievement oriented goals, they both are task oriented, whereas supportive or participation leader, they both are actually relationship oriented. So in that image, you can easily say that path goal theory of leadership describes things in three forms. The very first one is based on the factors like subordinate characteristics, whether they need for affiliation, uh, their preferences for structure, desire for control. Similarly, the environmental factor, whether they are task structured or formal authority system is available there, primary work groups are available there. If all these things are available, then your leadership style will be one among these four, which we have already discussed in the previous one. It would be directive, supportive, participative, or achievement oriented. And we know that the more we are focused on task oriented, we would be more and more, as a matter of fact, directive or achievement oriented. But if we are more, our tilt is more towards relationship, then we would be either supportive or participative. Dear students, there is a lot of criticism on contingencies theories. The very first one is that they are complex, as a matter of fact, and actually incorporate many aspects of leadership simultaneously. You would see that task oriented or relationship oriented, then we have another three characteristics of your subordinates. So this whole thing makes it a bit complex. Then partial support from different researches, though it was presented based on some research evidence, but in the later part of the century, when more and more researches were conducted on it, there was a less evidence. The results suggest that the role of effective leader is not just removing roadblocks, it actually fails to establish adequate relationship between leader's behavior and subordinate motivation. Similarly, most of the proponents assume that leadership style is fixed. This means no way that you can improve the style. As I told you earlier, that in Fiedler contingency model, the assumption was that leadership style is built in, you cannot change it or improve it. So if you make it like that, how would you think that people uh, would improve in their leadership style? Then only two alternatives left: change the leader, change the situation. The model only considered three situations. Uh, Maybe there might be many other situations that may arise as well. Dear students, here is a YouTube video and I would request all of you to spare 10 minutes and listen to that video very carefully. You would be able to learn a lot. And I would request you to write down question at the end so that we may discuss it at the end of our lecture. So here is the most important task at the end of the lecture. So what you are supposed to do, that keep it in your mind both theories of situational leadership, and you got to state 10 suggestions on issues of students during online classes and different issues which are emerging in that situation, especially of university of situations. And then you are supposed to give some solutions with reference to house path goal theory or any theory that you have got in your mind. I mean, this would be a test of your situational leadership skills, and I would request you to upload it on your Google Classroom as soon as possible after we have finished that lecture. Thank you very much for listening me so patiently. We'll meet again in our next lecture.